All right, let's get into this hype, guys. What's going on? It's your boy Dutchy. I just want to break down the most exciting thing that's happening in the League of Legends community right now, which is the Mid-Season Invitational, 2022 Mid-Season Invitational. It's between splits, between the spring split and the summer split. We're having all the top teams, the champions of the first split. They all get together. It's hosted in one venue, and they're all going to play for a grand prize of $75,000 going to the first place team. These are all the top 11 teams from each region. These are going to be regions from all around the world. We got Japan, the Detonation Focus Me. We got North America's own Evil Geniuses. We got the victors of the LEC here, the G2. We got Turkey's Istanbul Wildcats, Oceanic Order, PSG. I forget what this was. Pacific, I think they called it. PSG Talon. We've got Brazilians Red Canids. We've got LPL. This is China's Royal Never Give Up. And we have Vietnamese Saigon Buffaloes. And we have the champions of the Korean Spring Split here, SKT T1, or just now known as T1. And lastly, Latin America's Team AZE, or ACE. So it's 11 teams from the 11 regions, and the prize pools are going to be broken down like this. And 75K for the first place team. That's pretty high. And what makes it so exciting is that it's all the champions of each region coming together to play against each other. So what I wanted to do was break down some analysis of some of the performances of each game, and explain why this is so hype. So you have the 11 teams joining in the split, and there's gonna be one group of 3 and 2 groups of 4. And Group A and B, they're gonna play a double round robin format, and that's what's so exciting about the group stages. From May 10th to May 15th, it's a double round robin format, so it's a round robin format. And Group A and B are gonna be double round robin. Group C is gonna be a quadruple round robin, and the top 2 teams advance to the next stage, and the bottom 2 teams are eliminated. But what makes this so fun to watch is that all the matches are best of 1. So there's no terms of there's not going to be any like strategy or like depth to it. It's going to be a lot of cheese. It's going to be a lot of like maximizing their leads. It's going to be a lot of one-off strategies. So we're going to this is a different idea of strategy. You only have best of ones. You only have an opportunity to play these guys once and to give it your all you know with games not being like a best of 3 or anything like that, or best of 5. It's just a best of 1 series. So for the next 4 days, today was already the first day of the best of 5, but for the next 4 days, we're going to see more best of 1s in the group stages here. And let's see, way simpler. Okay, so Japan went 1-0, Korea went 1-0, Saigon's lost, Ace lost. In Group B, what ended up happening was Brazil won, which was a huge upset because we all thought PSG was going to win, but Brazil ended up winning, and the LPL's finest, Royal Never Give Up, ended up stomping Istanbul Wildcats. And in Group C, my favorite group, EU versus NA, G2 ended up beating Evil Geniuses and Oceanic's Order. So that's just a quick recap of the win-loss for the first day. And what I'm going to do today with you guys is we're going to go through each game, and we're just going to quickly break down the champions that they picked, and analyze the drafts, and then just do a quick recap of if our hypotheses from the drafts ended up working out. All right, let's run it. This is jumping into game 1. Jumping straight into the pick ban. So what ends up happening here is Korea gets blue side.
Regional finals across the world. And to start things off right away, TF, just want to make we're talking about some of the shared.
So Korea gets blue side. Let's take a look. This is hype. So they take away the Leona, they take away the Nautilus, 2 very similar supports that are hard to deal with because they're just great forms of engage, and they're tanky. So if you can take away tanky supports, tanky support engage, then you have an opportunity to create a different play style. Okay. They ban the Ari and they ban Faker's LeBlanc and they take away the Jason Caitlyn. So T1's able to pick up TF, which is big. TF provides a lot of map control. There's very little counterplay unless you pick something like a Silas who can steal your ultimate and follow you, or you're against a laner who has a global. So the Saigon Buffaloes end up picking up Tristana and Wukong in their first pick. And now SKTT1's going to hover their support, and I'd like to see them pick their AD here, or potentially their jungler. And Lucian's a favorite of this tournament so far. It's looking like Lucian is just like the number 180 carry. It's starting to seem like. There was a lot of Graves bans. You know, let's see what the next ban here is going to be from the Saigon Buffaloes. And the Saigon Buffaloes lock in Silas to match the TF. Now, if he can steal TF's ult and follow, and get on the map when he does. Okay, they take away Owner's Viego, something he's known to carry on. And now they have to make one more ban. And are they going to target ban Owner? Because the only thing they have left to pick is jungler and top laner. So now they're going to ban a top laner or a jungler. And I'm curious to see what they're going to ban here. So they end up taking away Owner's Lee Sin. So they're not too worried about it because they're purple side. So the Saigon Buffaloes are going to ultimately be able to counterpick the top lane, since they have jungler, mid, AD carry, and support, leaving Taki to pick to counterpick the top lane. And T1 has to lock in 2 here. And T1 bans Rakan and Rel. So they take away 2 supports, forcing Shogun to lock in something like Alistar. If there's no Rakan, if there's no Rel, if there's no Leona, if there's no Nautilus, you know, you don't have any hard CC engage from a support standpoint. You're very limited in your options here, so he has to go Alistar. So he goes Alistar. They don't know the top laner yet, so they go Gwen, a good safe pick. Despite if she gets behind, she can still have a lot of impact, and generally her summoners are going to be Ignite Teleport, which is a defensive rune anyway. So having the teleport on Gwen where it's not going to punish her because she doesn't need flash is huge. So they go for a safe pick, and as a one-trick pony Vi, I was really pumped to see them lock in Vi here. Completely unexpected, but it provides their team some follow-up and some hard engage. Vi synergizes well with the Nami ultimate, Twisted Fate, so Twisted Fate can go in, then Nami can ult, then Vi can follow up, or vice versa. And Lucian, just one of the strongest lane bullies to have on blue side here. And coupled with the Nami is just immense pressure and strength. And it looks like Saigon Buffaloes ends up locking in Kennen to counterpick the Gwen. And so they got Kennen into Gwen. Wukong's been a favorite for this tournament so far. It's only been day 1, but Wukong's so strong. What they're doing is they're this MSI here. This tournament's being played on patch 12.8. So Wukong got buffed recently. He can now go over terrain with his W, which is his stealth ability. So I have yet to play it, but I'm thinking Wukong's pretty strong right now, and Wukong's exceptionally strong on weak side because basically if Wukong doesn't get invaded or punished early on, he can just full clear from red side down or whatever, and he's going to be a real threat when it comes to team fighting, and they're going to have little to anything they can do to stop it. So let's see if that ends up working out. So the way this game played out, the Tristana got really ahead because Alistar level 1 jumped in and he like flash queued. He got a knock up. They got a cheese kill on Gumayusi, and then Keria ends up getting a kill onto Tristana. And so 7 minutes in, it's looking like Saigon is gonna be doing work here, and it's a hex drake first drake. But what happens is Owner ends up getting his first kill around mid lane. When he hits 6, he finds his way to Raptor camp, and then he goes from Raptor to a mid gank. Check this out. And Froggy just can't do much because it's melee and a range matched up, and Faker can ensure a stun card on him, like 10 out of 10 times, pretty much, because Silas is pretty predictable because he has to go in. So Vi's able to provide a really, really good gank here, killing him. And then they don't have Wukong on the map, but he goes to start the rift. He's got mid prio, so it's fine. Faker has ultimate here, so curious to see what happens. Okay, they end up killing Gumayusi again. He ends up being just kind of a punching bag of this game. Let's see. So they get first rift. They create pressure on the map. Let's see when he drops that rift. That's going to be important. So despite his bot lane getting crapped on, they still summon rift bot. Sharing gold amongst his bot laners and trying to open up the map. Saigon Buffaloes retaliates with taking the first Drake, which is just fine. Then they lose a tower first tower rush to Saigon. Saigon seems to be doing all right in this game, and then they force something. They do pick up Faker here. But in a macro sense, SKT is able to ensure a second Rift Herald, and that's what SKT is known for. That they'll team fight every Herald if they have to. And Vi's really good at soloing objectives. So she's just able to solo it twice. So 1 Hex Drake to 2 Heralds is super worth it. The game looks pretty even, but there's going to be a huge swing here once we summon second Herald. So check this out. T1 plays together. They summon Herald here. It's a bit of a funky Herald play. Kennan's on the flank. Owner misses his Q, which would have ensured him to get the Denning Blows proc, which he doesn't apply before he ults him. So he's just shy of doing the damage. If he got his full 3 rounds of Denning Blows and was able to get that to proc and got the 20% armor reduction, he could have gotten the kill there on the Kennen. But the Kennen ends up living with like sub 100 health. And then due to their positioning, they just get cleaned up. And now the map's just opened up for T1. So then that's how they pick up that's how they pick up their first Drake, which is the second Drake. And then they're playing in the red side. They go for a Baron play. Alright, so predictions were T1 was going to win versus Vietnam. And they did, even though they were blue side and got counterpicked and whatnot. The Vi's too strong into the Wukong. And Faker works his magic. And Gwen does her thing. And they end up winning the game.